I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The Constitution, the leading document of the country, the plan, the rules, you know, the one written by Jesus and blessed by Gandhi and stolen by Nicolas Cage.
I'm taking the whole thing.
You know, the right is always touting the Constitution. Hey guys, can we get some new gun laws to maybe stop all these kids in schools dying? Nope, can't do it. It's in the Constitution.
From my cold, dead hands.
Dude, you can't just say anything you want. Yes, I can. It is in the Constitution. Free speech, bitch. Yeah, when it comes to their free speech, but not your free speech. See, how can you see that this guy inciting an insurrection?
This egregious assault on our democracy. We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol because
is free speech. But this book turns children into drag queens when clearly this guy turns people into drag queens.
It's Giuliani showing his softer side dressed in drag with Donald Trump.
You know, you're really beautiful.
So for Christmas this year, I got a copy of the Constitution. You'd think that with all the smack I talk, I would have memorized it by now. But nope. I can tell you the firing order of a small block Chevy, 18436-572. But until recently, didn't know what the 14th Amendment really was. Yeah, you don't need to, because after you can say anything and you can shoot anything, who needs any more amendments? Am I right? 14th Amendment is the Republicans' most hated amendment because it gives people rights that can't be taken away. And it was written because of slavery and the Civil War. The 14th Amendment states very clearly that people can't be denied life, liberty, or property without due process. It also says we all get equal protection, and black people, who at that time were 3/5 of a person, became 5/5 of a person. Yeah. Do you see why the GOP hates the 14th? They hate it so much that after it was ratified, they continued to write black laws, Jim Crow laws, and separate but equal laws because racists love loopholes. However, they're losing their minds over Section 3 of the 14th Amendment because it plainly and clearly says Trump can't be president. Ready? No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state.
I'm kept for governor and I got a room and a boom boom click clack.
Who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid and comfort to the enemies thereof. Now we're going to do Constitutional Breakdown.
Can you tell me about the Constitution?
Well, is the president an officer of the United States?
The office of President of the United States.
The office of
bing, bing, bing.
He's the officer. Check, checkity, check.
Bing.
Did he take an oath to the United States? Check, checkity, check.
Bing.
Even though he couldn't read the oath.
Person, woman, man, camera.
President.
Trump did engage in an insurrection and a rebellion. But are we sure about that?
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Yep, according to Colorado, we're pretty sure after a 5-day trial. Check! Does he have to be convicted of an insurrection? Nope. It says engaged in.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Check, checkity, check. In fact, the only penalty is he can't run. No jail, no charges. It just says if you engaged in a rebellion or gave aid or comfort to those who did, you can't run for office.
Bing, bing, bing.
And why did they do it that way? What were they thinking? Well, because they didn't want any soldier who fought in the Confederacy to be elected to a position of power. And is it only Colorado that doesn't want Trump to run again? Oh, no. Arizona, California, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, and Rhode Island. Lawsuits have been filed in 13 other states. You know, because we don't want this miserable 6-time bankrupt convicted sexual assaulting traitor who stole classified documents and hid him in his shitter to ever be president again. And to all of you mad at me right now, I didn't make this up. It's the Constitution. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Hoisted on their own petards. Yes. The Constitution says very clearly the man can't be president. But you guys always talk about the Constitution, but for some reason now, I don't hear you guys holding the Constitution up as rules we need to follow. So maybe you should shut up and sit down and let's get rid of this. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's. Oh my God, I've just made it not timeless. Hold on. Hey everybody.
We're not even there yet.
I know.
Oh, we're not going to mention New Year's?
It is New Year's. 2024 starts in a couple days.
It's Easter already, according to the stores.
Happy Halloween, people. Listen, with me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander. We are in a dark time in American history. I was pretty sure that after what he did the first time, that people were going to be like, fuck this guy. We're not going to have him as president again. And
even the right wing. They would think that they would even recognize
it. Right, because there's... The B side of this is, Trump gets elected again and says, "I'm going to be a dictator on day one."
From the people who want small government,
right?
Who don't want government in their lives,
right?
But they want a dictator
who call everybody else fascist and authoritarian.
Oh,
but
makes no sense.
So what happened is Colorado. We kind of brought it up last week, but I kind of dug into it. By the way, what happened was Ray got me for Christmas. I got a pocket Constitution. And you think that I need that. As much shit as I talk, I need to have a pocket Constitution.
I got it in Washington D.C. and I'm sure they don't sell a lot of those, but I saw it and thought he would love that. Yeah. And of all, he got really nice gifts. That was just a little stocking stuffer. That's been the thing that he's happiest about.
Is it a shorter version, like an abridged, like a Cliff Notes version?
No, it's just a little.
It's just
small size.
It's just a Constitution. It's about this.
So do you have to?
It's not Cliff Noted. No, it's not. Well, the Constitution is really not that long of a document. Really.
Yeah.
It's 27 amendments. Constitution and 27 amendments. It's not really that long of a document.
Now he's an expert.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're welcome.
So
sorry, everybody.
So I've been hearing about the 14th. Trump can't run based on Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. I mean, we've been hearing that, right, in the news, but they don't really explain what it says. They don't really. They just kind of, and the people are like, no, he wasn't convicted. So I did something that pretty much. By the way, guys, following me on Instagram. Thank you for following me, and for you that let it go after I posted. All I did.
I want to talk about this.
I took a picture of the open to the page, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. And it clearly states Trump can't be president.
It says it word for word in there.
It says it. Yeah,
Donald Trump cannot be president.
Exactly. Wait, did I get a different one? You gave me a modified one. So I read it and I posted, I go, it doesn't say it has to be convicted of. It says engaged in or gave aid to or comfort to. And I put, this guy can't do it. In all the years on Twitter, in all the years on Instagram, all the shit I've talked, all the jokes I've done, I have never had more angry response from the right wing than just simply posting the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. They're like, fuck you. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe it. I'm like, what the fuck? I just posted what's in it.
To be fair, you said something along with it.
I said he can't run. I said he can't. I go, according to the Constitution, he can't run for president.
It says it right there.
It says it. I hear it. And I have to.
You're just reciting it.
And they lost their shit. Man, why don't you stick to comedy, asshole? Like, it was crazy. And I'm like, why don't you stick to critical thinking? Oh, you never had that.
They have the same text wrapped on their F-150s.
Exactly.
And
it's on the entire tailgate. Yeah. And my pillowcase. It says right on it. Yeah.
So,
underpant.
Today is the day, or this is the week, that Christopher Titus officially turned a happy, kind, puppy-loving space into Twitter. Because I even said to him, you can't post words on Instagram. This will be so much better. You post pictures. So this asshole is typing words and then screenshotting them and posting that as a picture.
All I posted was...
a lot.
I posted 4. I posted 4.
I've quit opening Instagram because of you.
I don't want to change it. I'll stop now.
I'm more surprised
I'll
that
stop now because we had 7
that's what I was about to say.
Just posting the actual Constitution, 7,000 people stopped following me.
Have they not seen anything you've done in the last 17 years?
I think isn't Instagram hooked up to Facebook? Though we've been posting funny, cute videos. Funny Titus being comedian boy, and I have an opinion. They were like, "Oh, you got an opinion? Fuck you!"
But we've also posted Armageddon updates on there too.
So I put, I said Dow Jones post record closes stocks end mostly higher. So we've now beat any record, even Obama's record in the stock market. That happened yesterday. And they're so mad. Then I put, he said it'll go away like a miracle and 1 million died. We were stacking bodies in refrigerator trucks. Never forget what this moron did. He called our soldiers suckers and losers. He said, I prefer veterans that weren't captured. Never forget what the moron did. He wanted us to inject disinfectant in our lungs like a kind of cleaning. Never forget what the moron did.
These people love to rewrite history. They think. And
that's a picture of empty shelves during Trump's presidency when the supermarket had nothing in them. And people are like, and all I did was post that, and then I posted like Constitution because I was really stunned.
Just the cover.
And then I
holy shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers lost their shit. And yet every time you bring anything else up, guns, free speech, Constitution, so fuck you, Constitution. But and that's what I said in the Armageddon update. I just want to say, Constitution, he can't run. He can't. Now, the Supreme Court that he packed, and Mitch McConnell helped him, they could say, yeah, he can run.
Yeah.
But they're saying that. So, and here's another thing. They said Colorado can't unilaterally decide. It has to be the federal government. I'm sorry.
Wait a second.
Wait, didn't you guys say states have the right to basically regulate vaginas, but they can't regulate a guy who tried to overthrow the country?
States' rights.
States' rights. States' rights.
This is the group that cherry picks everything.
It's
they cherry pick shit from the Bible.
Yes.
They cherry pick shit from the Constitution.
Yeah. Bible says he get gay man. No, it doesn't.
Yep.
Bible says no, doesn't say it. I am to the point now where I got sad because CNN has gone off the rails. CNN, I was watching Breonna Keeler and another guy, and they were talking, and they let so they let the head of the GOP in Colorado. By the way, be clear, people, in Colorado, it was 4 Republicans that brought this lawsuit to get him off the ballot. 4 Republicans. It wasn't a bunch of liberal libtard maggots. It wasn't that. It was actually 4 Republicans.
Rhinos. They're going to call them rhinos.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I in name only. I get it, but you're so dumb. I like snowflakes too. They called me snowflakes, and I was like, and I just wrote, "You guys are afraid of Taylor Swift."
And masks.
Yeah, and masks. Like what? Yeah, what? So anyway, so this thing in Colorado, so CNN had today the head GOP guy on there in charge of the Republican Party. And he just goes, well, Trump's going to win because Biden's economy sucks. Everything's going down. Yeah, he just ruined the economy. He ruined the country. And I'm like, and CNN did this. Breonna Keeler just listened. Didn't say another word.
Oh my God.
That's what I don't understand.
Say,
their new thing is, we have everyone from both sides on there. But
they didn't.
If it's flat out disinformation and it's proven disinformation, then you shouldn't platform that bullshit.
Just according to math, the economy is better. By all measures.
Every number. Even and the stuff that was bad, the inflation is down. We're down to 3% or under now, which is a kind of normal inflation.
You can keep pointing out that it's like before the pandemic, it's beating Trump's numbers here. It's beating Obama's numbers here, and here.
Yeah. Well, Trump said this. This is another thing Trump said. He goes, the Biden economy is running on the fumes of the Trump.
So dumb.
And I'm like, well, then okay. That being said, when you came in and you said in like week 1, when you became president, and you said my numbers are better than Obama's, you were literally running on the fumes. We could still smell the fumes of the Obama administration.
It did smell great, though.
It did. It smelled it smelled like a Nest candle.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. We miss that. We missed the smell of the Obama administration. And so you were running on the fumes then, and then you fucked it up so bad. You ran up $7 trillion in debt. I just don't know how they can sit there and just flat out go, Trump had better economy. $7 trillion in debt, no infrastructure, no health care, no CHIPS Act, no nothing. You did nothing.
And to make matters worse, and we put this in Armageddon updates all the time, he kept saying he was going to do these things and just kept moving the goalpost every, not even like once a year he would come out and do a thing. He would say it every fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah. Bing bong bong bing.
Knowing that these fucking MAGA people have the memories of a dog. They just it just
Goldfish.
each week is just
goldfish. They're just not. And I look. They're not. They can't all be stupid, but it's crazy. Some guy wrote when I was reading the comments because I was really kind of stunned at their to just post. It's just Section 3 of the Constitution, 14th Amendment. That's all it was.
Yeah.
The anger and the vehemence of just the screaming it at fucking guys. I didn't write it. Why are you mad at me?
You can't believe the hypocrisy is. So that is the most blatant example of their hypocrisy. Is that example right there?
But there was one guy that wrote. He said, "I want you to know something. I'm not a Trump supporter." He said, "And I really do like your comedy. I may not agree with this, and I think the courts are going to have to decide it. But it's not going to make me dislike you or your comedy." And I was like, okay. I'll go, okay, we can hang out, dude.
Yeah.
Like you, but everyone else like, fuck you need to die, blah, blah. That's another thing too. They said that the judges in the Colorado case have death threats. Death threats.
Oh, and the people that filed the case.
We have made evil okay. Trump made evil okay. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of people are backing him up.
Yep.
But God, he's dumb, man. That thing we posted last week about him talking about running against Obama. We beat Obama last time.
Yep.
And he just kept fumbling. But you know what? He does this.
But he kept going with it.
Well, he could. I thought he got in the
3 minutes of Obama.
He couldn't get it. Does anyone know that there's someone pointing out that he can't stand right anymore? He's got these 2-inch pads under the front of his feet whenever he stands.
There's a lot of opinion about that. I don't know. Everybody has a freaking opinion.
Is it a mental thing?
There's one there's people on there saying that they're doctors, and he's got this specific type of dementia that makes you massively lean forward. And they show that side picture of him at the microphone that day. I think it's just because he has no muscle at all.
Right.
And his front end is getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Yeah. I mean, and he's got little tiny fairy feet. So those little tiny fairy feet.
He's got little tiny fairy feet.
Can't hold him up. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I get kind of annoyed at stuff like that where people are just sitting there speculating. Maybe his little toesies hurt. Somebody else said he's diabetic. His feet are probably pretty messed up. I mean, he's old.
He's only 2 years younger than Biden.
Someone else said it's because he's got lifts in his shoes, and so that pitches him forward, and he is older, so he's not as steady to hold himself up. He's not balanced. If you look at him from the side, he very much.
What is holding him up? The podium?
They put little pads under his feet. There was a wide shot.
He's standing on these 2 little rubber pads.
Oh, it's a counterbalance.
They look like sandbags, kind of.
Yeah, but just on his toes.
What the fuck?
I know. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
He also had to be helped down a ramp. I love when people talk about Biden being old. This motherfucker had to be walked down a ramp. I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's have a bike ride. Biden gets on a bike and Trump gets on a bike, and we see who rides the farthest.
If they can race to the finish line,
there you
is
go.
president. Whoever makes it, it's a bike off.
Yeah, they're gonna bike off each other.
I don't think he could probably even get on a bike.
Well, that's what we're saying.
He's not a guy like that does normal things.
He's not a guy.
Drive.
Like a guy's a guy.
Have we ever seen him drive?
Mm-mm.
Ever?
There's a picture of him. We'll put it up right here. This is him. He got into a truck and was president, and he went like a 4-year-old. He went bah, bah, yeah. It was like I was like, what is he doing?
Well, he does have like little 4-year-old hands.
But he's a president, dude. You need this is how you drive a big truck like this. You fine.
That reminds me of Dukakis. Remember that? We're aging ourselves. Remember the Mike Dukakis in the tank with the helmet, the crooked.
But that's a good point to bring up the election. So everybody keeps saying their Biden's economy isn't working for them, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Wages are actually outpaced. Wages went up 8 to 10%, and since Biden took over, and inflation is now down below 3%. We have gas prices have dropped $1.40.
Yep.
Even in California, I was like, oh shit,
it is in the 4s. It's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, we were in the 4s. California was in the. That means in the Midwest, it's got to be it's 210.
Yeah. And of course, the president doesn't have that much to do with gas per se.
Well, yes, he does. Both sides do this. This happened during Bush.
Yes.
Both sides, when gas prices are high, the Democrat and it's a Republican, Democrats go, look at the gas prices.
Yeah.
And when it's the other way and it's a Democrat, look at the gas prices.
But the gas price, all they could talk about, but now that they're down again, they don't ever say anything. No. Not like, at least gas prices are pretty,
Do you know why gas prices were high? Do you know the real reason? people forget that I have to research this shit all the time. Like, if I do this podcast, I have to make sure I know what I'm talking about, because I get my ass handed to me when I'm right. And when I'm wrong, holy shit. Trump signed a deal with Saudi during the pandemic that basically cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day, and it went through April of this last year or the year before. That's last year, I think. Saudi just extended it 2 more months. That's why gas prices were so high for so long.
Uh-huh.
So Trump went out of his way to motherfuck the next administration because he knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
I don't understand the polling. I think people are being sucked in. That's what I saw. I watched CNN today. This guy lied. This guy from Colorado flat out lied. He just said everything that wasn't true about the economy. And then Breonna Keeler just sat there. Didn't say a word.
I wish Biden would just come out and speak to that. If
I think
people
he is.
say,
I think they're biding their time. As it I think what happened is that they have learned. Listen, we are pretty clear that the American public has the attention span again of a goldfish.
Yes.
So we have a year. The elections are in November, next November. I will bet you. I'm gonna make a call here. May, Biden's going to start swinging fucking hard, and for 6 months it's going to be nonstop.
Okay, because the next thing I was going to say is, okay, but that means it needs to be repeated. He needs to get up and do a thing every
listen,
week.
if dumb me thinks they need to repeat it, and dumb you needs there's some smart people that are going, we got to never let this go.
You remember all Trump did was do speeches all day? Like he would sleep till 11:30, maybe golf, and then he would just do a press conference about who knows what, about whatever. Something to do with China.
That's another thing that made me mad is that I was just pointing out what he did. It'll go away like a miracle. 1 million dead. We can maybe inject it into your lungs, disinfect into your lungs like a cleaning. Fucking, and this is the fucking guy you want back.
Remember the scientists were just like, Jesus.
Oh, I love that. I love that slow. There was that someone did that slow pushing on what's her face, the other doctor,
Burks.
Oh, yeah.
Did that slow push while he was talking, and you just see her like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then someone said, when I posted that thing on Instagram, someone goes, yeah, Fauci ruined it. I'm like, Fauci made sure that all the stores were empty.
What? The little doctor guy?
The little doctor guy, yeah.
Who stopped HIV or AIDS? Didn't
AIDS,
stop it, but
they came up with
the pandemic of AIDS.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
and told us the truth.
The little doctor guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually made it so the supply chain didn't work.
Or maybe you just listened to a catchword or phrase that some dumb fat orange guy said, and now you're just repeating it. It's like whenever people
I think you nailed it.
Attacking Fauci. Just a doctor, guys. He's just a scientist doctor. That's
Who's got the Medal of Freedom twice.
Who could be wrong sometimes, could be right. He's just a doctor.
No one has a matching pair of Medal of Freedoms. He does. He has two.
That when you say woke mob or woke agenda, radical left, I'm not even going to have a conversation with
radical
you. You're
left
embarrassing yourself.
Thugs. Now are we thugs or snowflakes?
You're right.
Because for a long time we were snowflakes. Now
it's
we're
the same
thugs.
as Biden. He's dementia riddled.
Yep.
He's not even there. It's shadow run by Kamala and
his wife.
He is a criminal mastermind who has
got dementia,
taken all this money and funneled it through the Ukraine.
Right. He's got this guy with dementia, by the way, has 22 different shell corporations and is taking money from China. He's running a worldwide cabal that basically everything is connected to a deep state that's going after this one guy, Trump, who's the best guy we've ever had. And
he can't remember how good he's doing.
And he's got dementia.
All those shell corporations? That's because he keeps forgetting. So he keeps making another
new
one.
And
he keeps succeeding.
Yeah, we can go to we need another shell corporation.
We just made one. What?
We have 22 now. We need a new shell corporation.
I get it. It's like grandma with her Apple password. It was always. I totally get it. It could happen. That was like the bane of my existence. Grandma and her Apple
when the
password.
phone rang, you knew what was going on.
And it was every day. That is not what my password is. I just changed it, and then I'd be like, well, it can't be that because it's not accepting. I'm telling you that it did. I always felt like there was some sort of communication breakdown in what punctuation was actually named. So, like, she thought, like, an exclamation point, she would call that, you know, I don't know, like
a Yahoo or something?
An interrobang or whatever, you know, like it was something opposite. So I think what she remembered making it was the name of the thing she tried to enter, but it wasn't. She had actually put a question mark.
Right.
Or, you know, the thingy, the long thingy with the dot or whatever. And I think, so maybe that's what's happening with Biden.
Well, Trump is the guy who's all of his posts are in caps. So that's an old guy with dementia.
Yeah.
Everything's in caps.
Biden, by the way, every time they interview him, did you see Rogan? I talked about this. Rogan got his butt handed to him, kind of.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah. So you didn't talk about it.
So Rogan. So and look, I don't know where Rogan stands politically. I really don't. But he's but be clear, Rogan's fine. But other people go, yeah, man, you talk UFC. People you need to know, Joe Rogan is a badass. Joe Rogan is literally could kill you. So with that being said, Rogan starts ripping on Biden because Biden they show this clip where Biden's going, yeah, he goes, yeah, you know, the country didn't work out because we didn't have in the Continental Army it was hard the Civil War because we didn't have enough airports.
Yep.
And so they show that clip and Rogan starts ripping on him, and the guy with him, his guest, is like, yeah, man, he's losing it, he's out of control. And then to his credit, his producer goes, Joe, and you hear this voice and he goes, that's Biden making fun of what Trump said.
Yeah.
Then they played Trump saying, they ran the airports. How
do you miss that? How do you not remember that?
Because there is, listen, look, I don't mind if Trump was the best guy in the world, I get everybody fighting this hard. I get it. If Trump was the guy where you're like, hey, this guy is a genius with business. He's a genius. He didn't cheat on it. He's a good guy. It's not like they're like, no, Tom Hanks. I'm like, all right, Tom Hanks versus Biden. I'm going with Tom Hanks. I'm going Tom Hanks. And, but it's Trump against Biden. It's like the worst guy we've ever known. He has to pay millions of dollars for sexually assaulting a woman in a fucking a dressing room. He's got 91 felonies.
We should just point out this one little tidbit on this Rogan podcast, on this show. Here's the difference, and this is what explains the right. Just in one fell swoop.
Okay.
How hard they went. He was saying he's insane. He's losing his mind. He's got to go. Pull him. Somebody's got to get him. Pull him out.
Right.
And then when they find out that Trump did it, their reaction was just like, oh, he just messed up. They just dismissed it.
Yeah.
They said the same fucking thing.
But why though? But what are they?
Why do they forgive him?
Well, there's something about the word patriot. I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
They'll forgive Trump for anything.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
They flat some of the comments on what I posted, they flat out said that didn't happen. And I actually just linked it and sent it to him. No, here's video of it happening.
Yeah.
I keep saying this, and I get so tired of talking about this
because
I feel like every week we've started to sound like because it's like the same thing.
We're changing the name of the podcast to that.
That's too long of a logo.
I
agree though.
I just don't understand why him. And I know I've said that over and over and over. But I get like maybe a JFK kind of charismatic, handsome, great speaker, really intelligent, well-read, thin, in shape. I mean, like this blows my mind. And I say it over and over and over again. It's not you being conservative. I'm great. God bless.
I think
literally, but it's him. We're not mad at you being conservative.
Right. Not at all.
We'll duke that out, you know, in the legislature until the day we all die. That's what we do. You know, that's how we hope to achieve some sort of balance, is by having people across the aisle work together.
Right.
But it's not that. It's him.
Yep.
At this point, I would take Nikki Haley. You know, at least that is a mildly sane, somewhat reminiscent of what our GOP used to look like.
Shades of the old Republican, yes.
I mean, definitely. I don't agree with...
But today she actually came out, yesterday she couldn't even... They said, what do you think started the Civil War? She's like, Civil War, people were talking about states' rights. And I'm like...
I know, but look, we have felt that way about, you know, the other side, whatever side I may have been on at that time, or whatever party I aligned more with. I never really was a side, but we'll disagree. Fine. But is she trying to dismantle democracy? Let me tell you. So he posted he posted a poll. Did you guys see this? A word cloud. Asking voters, he asked 1,000 people. It was the result of a Daily Mail poll. Asked likely voters what words they would use to describe what they want from a second term. The firm JL Partners conducted the poll. It was released on Tuesday. They just asked 1,000 likely voters for one word to sum up Biden's and Trump's plans for their new terms. According to the poll, the most popular word associated with Biden was nothing. Trump then cryptically posted the word cloud on his Truth Social account Tuesday and didn't put a comment or any context. And the word revenge is in red crimson letters standing at the center of the word cloud, and right above it, the word power, and right below it in orange, dictatorship. Interesting that it's orange.
Yeah,
orange,
you're right.
Dictate, orange, sweet potato.
Sweet potato Hitler, yeah.
So that's, I mean, look, he's saying dictator, power, and revenge. And they're still fine with it.
Well, so I'm getting some people think that it's going to be better to get something done by having a guy that will just decide.
Did I tell you guys what my niece said? Did I say that? I think I did. But so that younger generation that's on TikTok all day long, they're being pumped full of disinformation as well. They don't even realize it. We had a little toe-to-toe, kind and quick toe-to-toe about Palestine and Israel. But she said...
Yeah, she got kind of quiet when I said, do you understand what happened there?
She said that she thinks the problem is that Biden lacks energy. He seems too like kind of sleepy and quiet.
His nickname
Whereas
is Sleepy
she thinks Trump is batshit crazy. Don't get me wrong, but she's
But
saying
he walks to the mic like this.
there's something more appealing and more powerful about the energy level. While he may be saying absolutely insane shit, that these younger people are thinking, oh, that's an old boring guy, and that guy's, he's interesting. He's at least going to take charge of something.
And that goes back to education again. But so let's not
This goes back to some monkey brain shit.
Yeah, let's don't talk exactly. No shit, you're right.
Of just looking looks like he's got energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Base level, you're right.
On Christmas, he posted on Truth Social. He's been posted a lot. He's very angry at Jack Smith. It's pretty funny.
New stuff keeps coming out every day.
He says, Merry Christmas to all, including crooked Biden, Joe Biden's only hope, deranged Jack Smith. Crooked and deranged. He's got little names. Included are also world leaders, good and bad, but none of which are as evil and sick as the thugs we have inside our country who, with their open borders, inflation, Afghanistan surrender, his fault, Green New Scam, high taxes, no energy independence, woke military, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Iran, all electric car lunacy, and so much more are looking to destroy our once great USA. Ready for the all caps? May they rot in hell. Again, Merry Christmas.
Oh, I get the warm and fuzzies. Oh, what a great message.
The next post opened with deranged Jack Smith should rot in hell. The guy, the prosecutor, that's okay.
Who's actually held up as he was at the World Court in The Hague. He was held up as one of the baddest motherfuckers and the most honest.
He had to know Trump was going to burn him down.
But he's saying this, the irony of him saying, let's take America back to when it was once great, as he says, rot in hell. This is from the same guy.
No, they don't.
Same post.
That's what makes me crazy.
It's like the next sentence.
Yeah, it's same post. It's not even
which means he said some other shit earlier and said Merry Christmas. Because he didn't just say Merry Christmas. But this is the thing I don't get. How do you wait, you told me that he became a Christian on some broadcast Victory News show or something.
Yeah.
So that guy? That's the guy you see converted?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he obviously sounds like a Christian. I think rotten hell was Jesus. I think Jesus.
I remember
Jesus said that.
Bible study lesson.
We should make put Trump words in the voices of like Lincoln and all these great speakers.
Score.
And rot in hell. And Gandhi and put his words into those people.
Electric car madness.
Yeah, what? Let's talk about someone. First of all, I'd like to talk about the Biden low energy thing. Biden's 80. Got it. Biden's never been ever.
He's always been 80.
29.
He's always tough.
Yeah, he's always just been mellow.
I'm just telling you what kids find appealing.
He's very measured in his speech because he was born with a stutter. He's worked for years to get rid of the stutter. He still has it. So that being said, he's 80. Trump's 2 years younger than him, and Trump needs little toe pads to stand up straight.
Yeah.
So we got another guy.
Caked on makeup.
We got another guy who in December did a cold plunge. Biden went in and did a cold plunge and came back running out of the water. Got it. So I don't know what
I understand all of this.
I know, but what I want people to understand is if you look at what this administration has gotten done, it is literally like FDR.
Oh, I know. It's most successful and productive administration since
FDR.
Donald Trump just 40 minutes ago lost his appeal to postpone the second E. Jean Carroll defamation trial. They've already handed down a partial summary judgment.
How much now?
That's what the second
He's
trial
going to
would
appeal
decide.
it till he dies.
He lost. He's got a couple more shots, and everybody seems to be moving fairly quickly.
Though? What happens? So can they
it's civil.
Do they just start taking his property? They just start we're taking that. Sorry,
of course,
we're giving it to her. Oh, they just take his shit.
Yeah, if he gets a judgment against him, that's what
Liens
happens. And he doesn't pay it, then they'll attach his bank accounts, and then they'll seize property and sell it off. Yeah,
this guy's a bit of a mob guy. He's just a mob guy.
Oh yeah.
But I want to talk about and one more thing. This whole we didn't talk about it. We talked about it before we got here, so we think we've talked about it. This whole thing about the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. They keep saying one of the judgments was, well, Trump's not President Trump wasn't an officer. Was an officer. Yeah, it's called the office of the presidency. He's the chief. He's the chief officer of the country. He's an officer.
Yeah.
So wait. So they wrote this. So you're telling me that if you're president, you can do anything? Well, if that's the case, then Joe Biden gets to stay in the office just as long as he lives.
Sure, let's decide it right now. Well, Biden's in office. My niece said
that's
that too.
Yeah, but let's decide it right now. You're right, because then Biden gets to do it.
My niece said that when she was at the house. She was like, I don't understand why they're fighting so hard to give him absolute power, because then that would apply to Joe Biden, and he's actually in the office that could be held on to. And I thought, yeah.
And this was supposed to be a document opposite of what a kingship is supposed to be.
Right, yet they're saying
that's what you should post now. You know what? You guys have all convinced me.
Yep, you're right.
And you're right. A president should have absolute power and absolute immunity.
Yep.
Thank God Joe Biden is in office and is the one that can exercise
Looking forward to the next 12 years of Joe. Looking to 96-year-old President Biden.
Their heads will explode.
Well, they're already all twisted up because I'm
Their
going, guys.
Heads will absolutely
it's
explode.
just the Constitution, guys.
Keep your head from exploding by staying in shape. Now, and this is a great actually ad right before New Year's because so many people have New Year's resolutions. This episode brought to you by Fitbot. I love Fitbot because you don't have to leave your house. I love it because you can use it anywhere. You can just enter whatever equipment you have wherever you are,
or if you
and it will adjust your workout.
If you have no equipment,
yeah, you can just have
it
air.
will kick your ass.
Yes,
it kicks
you can just have two little tinnies.
I will tell you this, man. I have worked out in many a hotel room and been like, babe, this is killing me.
Fitbot is an app. It's extremely affordable as it is, but then you get 25% off through us, which is kind of crazy because even at the current price of like $79.99 for the whole year, plus you get 25% off. But even at that full price, that's way cheaper than one session I paid for Amber when I was training.
Right.
And you don't have to leave your house, so you can roll out of bed in your PJs, which I have done before. Just worked out in my pajamas because who knows? Who cares? Also, you know, if you're on the run, if Trump gets elected again, if Armageddon is happening, you might not have equipment.
If you're on the So the Fitbot app, which will be taken down when the entire network goes down, but but the stuff you've saved on your phone, you'll still have.
And the thing is that actually it teaches you how to work out. That's what I love. The next ad we have too, it teaches you how to do something. And so,
do you know how often I check it? So when I'm working out, I do it. I use it 4 to 5 times a week.
Yes.
So when I'm working out with it, every exercise, let's say because sometimes the names, like I call things thrusters that aren't, and I make up my own. I make up my own names for, so when
you call hip bridges.
So here's what you guys, I'm just gonna tell you how you do it. So you go in and say, so yesterday I worked chest and tries and abs, and you can pick, so it'll give you a workout because it's got AI, it's knowing what you're doing. It'll give you a full body workout, or you can set how long you want to work out, 15 to an hour 15. You can set, you can set, and then so I go through and I pick the muscle group. So I picked chest, picked triceps, and I picked abs. Then it went. I also have I added a cardio thing. So I have a bunch of different. You can get a bunch of different profiles. Like if you want to do, like I have a mass building profile that I use sometimes, and then right now I'm in my. It's called Lean and Clean Cardio because you get to name it yourself. So the cardio, it gives me 10 minutes of cardio at the end, which I bumped up to 25. And then it's got a thing. So it's still tracking your calories. Let's say it said I have to do 9 minutes on the bike. I did 30 minutes on the bike, and I typed in, I just took it and 30 minutes on the bike.
On my bike?
Yeah. On Peloton. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. Just asking.
How come it's ours unless it's hers and then it's mine?
The Corvette's
very
mine.
Republican
That's
of you.
yours.
It's ours. Okay.
He's got his toes.
Let me get to the point. So here's
under
the
the
thing.
table.
So here's the thing. So I put it in. It gave me a kick-ass workout. Then I went in and I put in how many miles I rode on the bike, which upped it. It upped the calories that I burned. It actually tracks everything you're doing. And I got to tell you, man, I use the videos. Like sometimes I'll see on exercise. I'm like, well, what is that exactly?
Yeah, because there's videos that show you
the video and it shows.
Workout.
There's one guy on it though, man. There's one dude.
That guy is kind of funny.
That guy, he's
vigorous.
He's very spazzy, very spazzy. There's some really great, like, and then there's one dude that like, bro.
He was obviously a dancer.
Or he really wants to do it right.
Fitbot adapts as you improve, so every workout is going to be challenging because it's building on what you did before, tracks your muscle recovery so you don't get burnout like a lot of workouts. It's fine-tuned by experienced certified personal trainers. So that way you're getting up to date, like cutting edge science when it comes to working out. Add Fitbot to your workout essentials. Join Fitbot today to get your personalized workout plan. Get 25% off of your subscription, or you can just try the app for free at fitbod.me/Titus. That's fitbod.me/Titus.
So I forgot to log in my miles yesterday. So now I finished my workout. And now it's gonna and hit done, and it's now it's gonna calculate all the stuff I did because I added a bunch of. Sometimes it'll give you it said do 8 and I did 15 because the weight was too light. So first that I did it 15, but I add 15 and it just it keeps adding it all up, and I'm done. And now it says I burned 892 calories in that workout.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Donald Trump needs Fitbod.
Yeah, Biden is the cyclist one. He's,
exactly.
Sure,
sometimes he falls off. Sure,
you get back up
That's
again.
Right.
He's riding hardcore. He fell one time. His feet were clipped into the pedals. He couldn't get his foot out of the pedals. And I get he's old.
He was riding a bike.
Yeah, he was on a bike. He and Jill are hardcore Peloton people. They had to disable the connection on their Peloton in order for them to move it into the White House. And apparently I'd read an article where they argue over who gets to use the bike. You know, like, no, it's my turn. I was going to work out at 6 a.m. No, I was going to work out at, because old people get up early.
Mr. President, we can get another one?
You're right.
Mr. President, I think
it's in the budget. We can find it in the military budget.
They had to get rid of, how it syncs up and tracks everything and there's a camera on it and stuff.
Oh, right. And you think about that, you could.
I don't know why. Oh, I guess when you do if you work out with a friend, I've never wanted anybody to see me. Up this close.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you look like?
Yes,
no, thank you.
Did you? I read something weird. BlackRock, this giant corporation that owns so much of the
country?
United States, as being investigated, and the CEO of one of the higher ups sold like $34 million worth of stock 3 or 4 days before it was announced that they were being investigated. So had he not done that, had he waited till after the investigation was announced, he would have lost $17 million. because their stock dives so far.
Didn't Martha Stewart go to jail for this?
She did.
Okay.
She did.
So new stuff has been coming out. Jack Smith's case against Trump in the election subversion trial that's hopefully going to still happen in March. A lot of new details are leaking out. And I've heard a lot of experts say that we have no idea how sweeping his evidence is against him. There are recordings. And
I heard Chesebro today. Chesebro flat out came out and said the plan was they were going to actually talking about they couldn't get the fake elector ballots.
I'm going to get to that.
To Pence. They couldn't get it to Pence. And then so they were going to charter a plane.
They faced a crippling hiccup in their master scheme. He is so Three Stooges in everything he does. It's Tucker is mailing something in UPS, the laptop, and it's lost. The fake elector
Crippling
certificates
Hiccup is a great name for a band,
from
by the way.
two critical background states were stuck somewhere in the mail. So Trump campaign operatives flew copies of the fake certificates. They flew them from Michigan and Wisconsin back to DC, relying on what this article calls a haphazard chain of couriers, as well as help from two Republicans that were in Congress because they were trying to get them to Pence as he was certifying the election.
They got him to Pence, and Pence
They
said, "Fuck
even
off."
considered chartering a jet to ensure these fake certificates got to DC in time for Pence to read them off. So there's new details that are coming out about how chaotic it was and how focused he actually was on subverting the election.
This is participating in an insurrection, trying to overthrow an election. This is engaging in, and anyone else who helped him, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, anybody else, Ginny Thomas, anyone else.
It is, so they say two Republicans in Congress that aren't named were part of it. But this is from Chesebro, who was one of the architects of this plot. He's now a key cooperator in several state probes into the scheme.
He even said they threw me under the bus. He said they basically screwed me.
Yeah, they blamed him.
Yeah, they said,
he has supplied emails and recordings. So I guess, it seems like to me, like everybody that dealt with Trump felt the need to record stuff, even Michael Cohen, because they knew who they were dealing with. But they have recordings of all of this conversation going on.
So at what point, though, it's pretty, it's obvious this man could, but who's the only person who benefited from the insurrection and election? Who's the only person?
Yeah.
So Trump did know about it? You guys, come on. Wait, you actually going to overthrow the election for me? Come on. You can't.
Don't do that.
Guys,
come on, don't be silly.
We'll run again in 4 years. It's fine.
We'll win it fair and square.
Did you really do this for me? I'm like,
it's always him benefiting. Michael Cohen goes to prison. He didn't pay Stormy Daniel off for himself. Only one person ever benefits. And I don't understand people willing to, let alone burn down possibly their career, lose their freedom, go to prison forever. But on top of that, to defy the nation's constitution and subvert an election, people are willing to do all of that for that guy. Are you guys okay?
I just got something as you were talking. I just got that. First of all, these people that follow Trump, have they noticed that whoever does help him gets fucked every time? Anybody who was part of
deep state
that helped him,
they
helped him crime. No, but we've got Chris Krebs, who he hired, who ran the election. It was and he wanted to make sure the election was fair. Chris Krebs said it was the fairest election we've ever had. His own guy. Bill Barr.
Then he fired him.
Bill Barr, his guy.
Head of his DOJ.
Head of his DOJ. Bill Barr. Then you've got Kelly, General Kelly.
His personal attorney.
Yeah, Michael Cohen, but Kelly.
No, not Michael Cohen. The good normal guy who called the new lawyer team nuts.
Shit! The guy with the panda behind him.
No, that's Eric Hirschman.
Hirschman's insane.
Who's the lawyer? He was actually a very normal person. Gosh, I know guys are probably at home.
Sidney Powell, threw her under the bus. She threw crazy. Mike Lindell. Anybody who's connected to Trump gets run over.
Pat Cipollone.
But everyone gets run over, and how come the people And he has said flat out, I don't want to be with those people. He said it. He doesn't like his supporters.
But look, okay. So let me just explain this to you guys, why this is one of this and some other things, or why he is such a bumbling boob. He's the president of the United States of America.
He was.
They are missing at this time, I mean.
Right.
Oh, according to them. Uh-huh.
No, I mean.
At the example you're
Are you guys okay?
Hold on.
Okay,
we got
stay
you.
with me, guys. At this time that this election
Not
subversion
this time
was
now,
happening.
in the subversion.
Very good.
Got it. January 6th-ish.
He's the president. And there apparently is a massive amount of confusion and panic, according to Chesbrough and all these recordings, because they're missing 2 of the fake certificates. Panic. They then fly 2 people to 2 different states, but they keep using different couriers to hand it off to this person. Then they consider chartering a plane. He's the president of the United States, and he couldn't figure out how to get 2 pieces of paper from Michigan and whatever other state to Washington, D.C. You could drive it if you had to. Do you know FedEx overnight?
He tried to shut down the post office. Maybe he doesn't really
remember
get
the post office thing with the voting? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He fucked up the entire post office at Christmas. You and I were talking about that. He actually ruined the post office. We couldn't get anything.
Chesbrough tells investigators that top Trump campaign lawyers were alarmed that the sham certificates might not make it to the nation's capital in time for January 6th.
I'm glad that people, they quoted him in his testimony. He said, I learned the hard way.
Wisconsin, Michigan, and
He's
Wisconsin.
getting ready. He's actually he's like, all right, guys. The lawyer said, we didn't know anything about it. He said, oh yeah, they did. He said, there was 12 people in a quote, very high up. So Jack Smith.
Ron Johnson is one of them.
You know that Jack Smith is so calm and cool because he knows that he's got this giant Gatling gun full of shit that's going to unload on Trump.
Do you guys even understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
you're the president of the United States.
Yeah, it's a Three Stooges.
You don't have to charter a plane.
Shut up, get a plane. Shut up, shut up.
Helicopters. You've got, I mean, are you okay?
He has the military.
But I would say this. I also think that they had to do it that way because he's a criminal. He doesn't think like I'm the president. Send these.
It had to be hidden.
So let's commit this crime out in the open.
Okay, don't use Air Force One or Marine One. Fine, but you have enough resources everywhere to get anything done. And there's this much panic over shuttling 2 pieces of paper that are on the East Coast, and you're on the East Coast.
But at that point,
I don't know. Nobody seems to get it.
At that point during the election, they're bumbling idiots. But at that point in the election, he knew he was going to lose, and it was just one more thing. It was one more thing. People forget that every fucking day this guy did something crazy. Every day.
Yeah, I forgot about the post office. Post office. The guy he put in charge of. I mean, it was like one thing after the other. This episode brought to you by something that we all need anyway, but especially during this season, AG1.
Money. Oh, sorry. AG1.
Yeah, that too. Money and AG1. AG1, I use it every day. I've been using it.
Yep.
Has it been a year now?
I think so.
So they made us use it for a month before they would let us promote it.
I didn't have
which
it
is
today,
kind of cool.
I have that hollow feeling.
I haven't had it yet either.
That I don't have when I have it. Like if I have it 15 minutes later, I feel great.
You were saying last week during Christmas, you said, I kind of feel like I just feel bad, but we had been traveling and we were dehydrated and we were tired.
Working our ass.
And I said, did you have AG1? And you were like, oh no. It's like we think about it in that context of making us actually feel better, even in the moment. So it's a foundational nutrition supplement. That was me combining the word nutrition with foundational. Yeah. Foundational. Mm-hmm. It supports your body's needs like gut health, stress management, immune support.
That one's the stress thing that's one for me. That's
been around since 2010. It's a really great product. I replaced my multivitamin. I replaced my $1,000 probiotics. It also has prebiotics in it. It has adaptogens, which I hate to say to both of you again, because that sort of sent you both over a cliff the last time I said it.
No, we've adaptogen to it. We're good with the word adaptogen now because we've adaptogen.
It's nutrition that your body needs,
right?
And you don't have to take all those pills anymore. You can get it all in here.
And my urine is a normal color.
You get magnesium You get B vitamins. Most people, do you know, I was reading this study that it's like 90%
Magnesium.
of people are deficient in magnesium, and that affects your weight.
Sleep.
It affects your sleep.
Huge sleep.
It affects your stress level. So you need
Speaking
this.
of that, I need some magnesium.
Optimize your body's health, balance everything out. Great way to start the new year.
Guys, AG1, get on the train, man.
Last year,
it works.
well,
It works.
I'm not into New Year's resolutions, but my sister pushed me into it last year. And one of the things that I wrote down was to take AG1 every day because it makes such a difference for my health. And I want to say this, and I'm afraid to say it, but I'm going to say it. You guys know I get sick all the time. If there is a way to get sick, I get it. Everyone, my dad right now, my 81-year-old dad has COVID and strep throat. My stepmother has stretch throat that she's taking lozenges for. So that I think is a little bit different.
Say that again.
She has, stretch throat, and she's taking lozenges.
That's singing.
And the lozenges are helping. And we have friends that have RSV. We have people that have the flu. Everything is going around right now. I have not been sick, and I'm afraid to say that out loud, but I take AG1 and it gives it boosts your immunity, and we need it right now. So AG1 is a supplement that we trust to provide the support our bodies need daily. That's why they've been our partner for so long, I think over a year now. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1, get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2. It's in a dropper bottle, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. Go check it out. Good
stuff. Works out with
the little travel packs. You can take them to work with you, and it's a flat packet, so you can roll the paper.
We take them on the road.
Put it in the bottle, shake it out, and you're good. Shake up your water, and it tastes good. Carry on.
Can we talk about Biden's accomplishments? We've been talking, we do exactly what I Hate the News does, which is they talk about Trump all the time. But when we talk about, let's talk
Boebert
about,
has announced she's switching districts.
Because she's getting her ass handed to her by Frisch.
Because
that's why.
He's going to beat her ass. But who's she going to be running against?
There's a Republican that's quitting. And so it's a heavy Republican district.
Oh.
So she's going from District 4 to District 3.
Adam Frisch should move there.
She doesn't live there.
I know.
She doesn't live there. She's going to run in a district she doesn't live in.
I'm so surprised. Oh no, that's so weird.
I don't know.
Okay.
She needs tickets to Broadway plays, I think.
It's the right move for me personally, and it's the right decision for those who support our conservative movement, she said. Colorado's 4th is hungry for an unapologetic defender of freedom who gives handjobs at Beetlejuice Broadway show.
Yep.
Was a direct quote. Carry on. I'm just going to keep throwing in news as you tell Biden's accomplishments.
Let's start off. If you guys remember, when Biden became president, 5,000 people a day were dying of COVID. 5,000 a day. That was
crazy.
That's over 10 airplanes crashing a day. Within 3 or 4 weeks, we were in a parking garage with thousands of other people, and this was happening countrywide. He mobilized probably the biggest vaccination ever. Mm-hmm. Got it done. COVID now kills maybe 100, 230 people a week or something like that. Of course, the new one, I guess, is coming back. So the vaccine worked. We've stopped the major death rate. That's just the first thing he did. Then he actually passed infrastructure, got that done. We now have Republicans who voted against infrastructure, touting how much money they got for their district through the Infrastructure Act. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry,
what? They voted against.
That they voted against. It's like, but I think this what bothers me the most about the bald facedness of it. They don't give a fuck. We're not voting for that. Oh, by the way, look what we did for you. Yeah. You didn't do it, you dick.
Yep.
So there's that. So now we have projects all over the country repairing all the shit that needed to be fixed in America that Trump said he was going to fix for 4 years.
You're sure they're all not here in LA in front of my house?
No,
because
dude,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the 101. Remember the 101 thing? So 3 years ago, they started on the 101, the center divider on the 101. And man, every day on the way home, I was like, I fucking hate infrastructure. Mm-hmm. Now it's all finished. Mm-hmm. And we had those big rains. Everything drained off. They fixed it. They fixed it. I was so happy. So then we got the CHIPS Act, which basically instead of Taiwan owning all of our computer chips, and at any moment, if China decides, people don't get that. The supply chain stopped because everyone locked down, and we couldn't get any computer chips for cars. BMW was putting in their top end cars, they were putting seats with levers in them. because the COVID, because everyone locked down and no one was building anything. Now we're back. So now we've got 3 or 4 factories being built in America. So we will have our own computer chip factories. So if China goes batshit crazy and bombs Taiwan and they're at war, we'll still be able to create the weapons to fight China. God.
Was Biden the first president to bring manufacturing back to the U.S.?
Yes. Well, everyone says they would. Biden created 1.2 million manufacturing jobs. We now have 1.2 since he's taken over.
Because for the longest time, we all thought, as a nation, we thought manufacturing's not our.
No, not our thing. We make hamburgers. We run the drive-through.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah.
But the problem is that I blame Clinton for that. Man, NAFTA was not the best deal. Mm-hmm. And Trump basically, that thing he did, he just renamed NAFTA and added 2 or 3 things to it. It wasn't that good. Do you have a list of Biden's accomplishments? You want to keep going? Can you bring it up?
I can.
Then we've got he's done over $100 billion in student loan relief. Mm-hmm. Now, if you say, well, why didn't I get my loan relief? Because I'm not, look, man.
I know that we just
sometimes you miss the sale. Sometimes you bought the fucking car and then in September they cut $8,000 off the price. You're not getting the money back.
If you're still paying off your student loan from the 70s. I mean,
I know that we just hit a record low for unemployment, 3.something%
3.2
this week. He lowered cost of families' everyday expenses in the Inflation Reduction Act. Historic legislative achievement, lowers costs for families, combats climate, reduces the deficit, finally makes big corporations pay their fair share. Medicare, for the first time ever, is able to negotiate the price of certain high-cost drugs.
Right. Now,
insulin prices are capped at $35.
Yep.
Medicare beneficiaries pay $0 out of pocket for adult vaccines, and seniors out of pocket at the pharmacy is capped at $2,000 a year. So most of those things help older people,
right? Who still think Trump is the
historic guy. Release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Gas prices are down more than $1.60 from their peak in 2022. He appointed the first Black female judge to the Supreme Court.
First Black female vice president.
First, yep. He brought jobs back to America and put a ban on us doing business with China or investing in Chinese companies.
This is great. So if everyone talks tough about China, like Biden's with China, he shut them down. He said any company that gives them any tech that we haven't approved, they get fined. You can't deal with China anymore. It could be a criminal conviction.
CHIPS and Science Act lowered the cost of goods, ensured more American-made technologies, makes more semiconductors in America, so we're not reliant on Taiwan, created more manufacturing jobs. Infrastructure Act, which we go on the road and we are seeing everywhere.
All over the place.
It is everywhere. The highways are being rebuilt.
Right. You know what he's actually doing? Biden
even
too?
In my hometown.
He's making America great again. Mm-hmm. He actually is. He actually did it. I mean, just people with insulin. People were paying $1,000 a month for insulin. He capped it at $35.
If Trump did half of these things, we'd be like,
we'd hear about it constantly.
He didn't do one of them. The only thing he did was run $7 trillion up by giving billionaires and
what that infrastructure law did was create good paying jobs in every part of the country, even rural areas. National network of EV charging stations.
Yep.
Largest investment in rebuilding our roads and bridges since the interstate highway system. Largest investment in public transit ever in American history. Ensured access to clean drinking water in every single community. Most significant investment in passenger rail since Amtrak.
High-speed rail, too.
Largest investment in tackling pollution. Affordable high-speed internet for every single American. Built a more resilient power grid.
They're building that out right now, right? The internet thing and the power grid. Yeah. Texas probably doesn't want it, though.
No. Florida doesn't either.
Historic. All of these things are historic. Expansion of benefits and services for toxic exposed veterans. What it did was it expanded healthcare service for exposed veterans, which my dad is exposed to Agent Orange, which is why he has Parkinson's.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, he has Parkinson's cancer.
Apparently, the two together
have to do with like
Agent Orange exposure.
So people forget that the Republicans. So all this stuff that's been passed, the Republicans voted against.
Yeah.
All this stuff that he did, they voted against.
Infrastructure was bipartisan, but
that one was, but it wasn't everybody. The the insulin thing. They don't want to give old people cheap insulin.
Right.
I'm sorry. What? Like, why would you even vote? Like, what?
What's in it?
Just when did the Republican Party get to this place where their job is to stop Americans from getting stuff that we
the first
elected
meaningful
them for?
gun violence reduction in 30 years.
Yep.
Protected marriage for LGBTQ plus and interracial couples. We had to do that in 2023.
Interracial couples.
Rallied the world to support Ukraine to stop Putin's aggression. Successful counterterrorism missions against the leaders of Al Qaeda and ISIS. Yeah, we took a few guys went
ended them
straight with the dishes.
You can say what you want about Afghanistan because Trump had made a deal already. Trump didn't make a deal with the Afghanistan government. Trump made a deal with the Taliban. Then his deal was to release 5,000 Taliban fighters.
He went to Doha and signed that.
Which he did. No, we have a picture of him. Remember in Pompeo. Pompeo fell off the face of the earth.
He did.
Didn't he?
Yeah, what happened to that guy? Didn't he have cancer?
I
Did he
would
die?
bet you that he is testifying in some different places. We
being moved around.
Strengthened allies and partnerships. For example, Finland and Sweden have joined NATO.
Yep.
Strengthened NATO's collective security and deepened our transatlantic partnership, which had severely suffered during the last administration. There's so many. Signed an executive order protecting reproductive rights. You're welcome, ladies. At least one guy did. Historic, you said this, student debt relief for middle and working class families. What he did was...
Yeah, if you can afford it, we're not cutting your debt. If you can, But also, again, we need to the whole system needs to be redone. You can't have colleges charging people $60,000 a semester.
It used to be. It used to be virtually free. Come on.
Yeah,
what was wrong with that?
Reagan stopped that. Reagan was like, nope, too many smart people. See how these protests and shit? I'm not having that anymore.
He ended our country's failed approach to marijuana. He pardoned all prior federal offenses for simple marijuana possession and initiated a process to review how marijuana is scheduled.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You never hear like a guy shut up at school. What was he on? Oh, he's high. He's on pot. No,
Advanced equity and racial justice. He made criminal justice reforms to improve prison conditions and re-entry. He signed an executive order to strengthen public safety and trust. Is taking actions to narrow the racial wealth gap.
It's interesting. We're all looking at our clock like we're a half hour into this list. Continue. This is we're halfway through.
Keeps going.
He strengthened public safety and trust by signing a landmark executive order on safe, effective, and accountable policing that mandated federal reforms such as banning chokeholds, restricting no-knock entries, creating a national police accountability database, and restricted the transfer of military equipment to local police departments.
First term, people. This is his first term. He's done all these things.
Oh God, man!
Delivered the most aggressive climate and environmental justice agenda in American history. We're now positioned to achieve our goals of cutting emissions in half by 2030 and net zero by 2050. Invested in clean and equitable solutions in disadvantaged communities as well.
Do you see why all these corporations we throw money to Trump? You just Exxon Mobil, all these people would be. They're like, wait, we're going to be fossil fuel free by 2050. These motherfuckers want this guy gone.
Protected more lands and waters in the president's first year than any president since JFK. More than 100 executive actions signed to develop clean energy, lower costs, create jobs, and reduce pollution.
And okay, those are all accomplishments, yes. And we see wages have gone up 8 to 10%.
Unemployment's down.
Unemployment's record.
There are more people with health insurance than ever before.
Corporate profits are. Here's the problem. It's not like corporation. They're up. It's the highest corporate profits in 50 years.
That's a big effing deal.
It's a big fucking deal. And this guy, and then people are like, yeah, the economy's bad. No, you're just watching Fox, who is flat out lying. What I don't understand is you don't get in trouble for fucking just lying anymore.
This episode brought to you by another one of our favorite companies.
That we're telling the truth about.
HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
This was the company that I was referencing earlier when I said that this company actually teaches me to do something. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day.
Give the man a fresh.
Fish. and he'll eat
And
for
he'll open a small
lifetime.
business where he sells worms.
That's in my next
don't think
HelloFresh
you guys
box.
are on the same wavelength that I'm on, as usual. HelloFresh, always a great company, especially during the holiday season. Takes so much work out of your life. You don't have to drive to the grocery store. You don't have to come up with meal ideas, which takes me forever. And then I'm always like, I give up. I'm just gonna whatever.
And the thing that you guys want us to make sure matter or anything, babe, what do you want to eat tonight?
They
I don't care,
already
whatever.
know. You tell them that every week. He always goes, I don't know, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, that's what I just called you to ask you. I just
If
called
I knew,
you.
I would have
Right.
asked.
You know, all you have to do is make me something really crappy twice, and I'd be like, yeah, here's what I want.
That's the key.
Yeah,
Except you
But
can't do that with HelloFresh because
do it.
even if you forget to choose your own recipes, which I do all the time, and they pick them for you, it is
Still good.
insanity.
Yep.
And I'm always like, oh, I don't really eat a lot of pork. A pork Gouda burger
Doesn't taste like pork.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We were actually telling people that were over at our house the other
Christmas party.
day at the Christmas
We
party.
were going, you guys, oh, no. And everyone leaned it like, what? And I kept saying, everything. We have not got anything from HelloFresh that I was like,
crazy.
it's all awesome.
And it's cheaper than buying takeout. It's cheaper than going to the grocery store yourself. It all comes pre-portioned with whatever it is on the outside. You can scan the QR code, or if you're 90, you can use the big giant full color postcard thingy like I do.
Yes, that's what I do. I tape it to the wall.
We save them.
And then I save them with
you've
my
made
recipe
your own
books.
versions. Yeah.
Yes. And so even on my sister and I did our stockings for each other on the 26th. And she gave me 2 little types of paprika from Hungary in my stocking because she was in Hungary a lot last year. And of course. And I go, oh, I use hot paprika in my panko crusted chicken. And she goes, what's that? How come you haven't told me about that? And I said, well, I don't know. I make it a lot. I made it at Dad's. I made it for Grandma. Everybody loves it. And it's so quick and easy. And I learned it on HelloFresh.
And you use the Greek yogurt for the...
I use Greek yogurt instead of the sour cream.
I started doing that because of HelloFresh instead of sour cream for everything.
Dude, who knew that you could spread sour cream or Greek yogurt on chicken and then crust it to make it stick and bake it, and it would be the juiciest chicken you've ever eaten in your life.
We know that because of HelloFresh.
I learned it on HelloFresh. I learned that if you zest a lime or a lemon, they make you zest limes in the Mexican recipes. You make a lime crema. And it's like, who knew that it would change the flavor that much? So
and you were already a good cook.
Yeah, but this is teaching me other things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
And it takes all the guesswork out of it, all the stress out of it. I just grab the bag out of the fridge. Some things take 10 minutes or less.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the most I've ever spent is maybe 30. Don't you think?
Yeah. You know what else is the great thing about the ingredients? It's like, it's not full of exotic, weird things.
No.
It's always like, oh, take this bit of paprika and this lemon and this, yogurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, I didn't know I could. Now
Yeah,
you've
now
really
that that's
learned
combined.
something.
Wow.
I will say I had never really used paprika before. So it was, now I know what it tastes like and I put it in other things. So it teaches you to cook. Go to HelloFresh.com/TitusFree. Use promo code TitusFree. You get free breakfast for life. They have all these market add-ons now. We all had the egg bites. They have all different flavors. They are so good. Things like that. 1 breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. That's free breakfast for the entire life of your subscription at HelloFresh.com/TitusFree. Use promo code TitusFree. America's #1 meal kit. Yeah.
Well worth it.
We actually did an ad for our friends at our Christmas party.
I really, really love all the ads we have because it's stuff. Every time we get to one, Fitbot, AG1, oh, thank God. HelloFresh, yes. I'm proud of that. I have always hated advertising. I've hated because, especially when you're, sometimes you see a podcast where people would just talk and then they would just stop and it was just obviously just an ad.
Yeah, and you can tell that they don't really use it.
Yeah, they're just taking the
money.
money.
We actually use all these things.
Yes. We're always hustling. We need some for Ken too. They'll send us stuff. Can we get some for Ken too? And then you guys like, I need more of that. Do me a favor. Tell your friends that are talking about this election in this sense like it's both sides, because it's not both sides. The list that she just read off that Joe Biden has accomplished in his first term, as Ken said, is stunning and historical. And yet this fucking guy can't get a break. And I think she's right. I think Morgan is right. I think she's like, you know what? He's that dude that just tortoise in the hair. He just the hair just talks shit all day long, and this guy's like, I'm just gonna keep moving. Joe's like, well, I'm just gonna save the world. I'm gonna take the country and make it better. Perfect.
With every step I make.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he's getting it done. He's getting it done, and he's not taking any bullshit. No joke. Hey, no joke. No joke.
Is that what he said?
All the time. He's all the time.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, Jack. Let's. What's more disturbing is that the right. I don't want to keep going back to Trump, but it's their main guy who's trying to go up against Biden. It's a race to the bottom for them.
Yeah,
because they're not touting Trump's accomplishments. They're just trying to dirty up Biden.
Yeah, well, that's
how they're trying to compete. Dirty up him instead of...
the whole thing was this whole thing about China and stuff. We all know, and whatever Jack Smith has on Trump, I mean, the man stole top secret documents and stored them in his bathroom. And then he told the FBI and everybody else that he didn't have them, so they had to raid his fucking house.
Yeah,
like this is shit that he did. And can you imagine? Hunter Biden has pictures. He did some crack and had some hookers. At most from Burisma, he got $3 million. Jared Kushner got $2 billion.
He's
from
not
the Saudis.
in office. We don't have to talk about it because he's not in office. If he committed a crime, he should go to jail. But he's not in office.
Who? Hunter, fuck yeah.
Why are we defending him when he's not in office?
I'm just
saying
that
nothing to do with anything.
I was talking about him. Here's how clean Biden is. They've been talking about his son for 4 years, and can't nail his son.
Yeah, they're showing their hand by saying they know that Trump is a shitty, dirty criminal,
right?
Because, like I said, they can't compete. They
don't
have
Biden.
They have nothing to compete with.
Yeah, they have nothing to hold up. Right. Exactly.
So they have to make the other guy as dirty and shitty as their guy.
Right.
So what are we left with? Why can't they just go, here's what Trump, the accomplishments Trump had.
Yep. Here's what
he did this. He started the wall. There's only like a couple, picket fences up. There's a wall. Whatever he did.
But they can't do that. And what they do, his economy is better. And they go. Someone pointed out that they talk about the economy getting better up until 20. They all go through. Trump was great to 2019, and then when an actual crisis happened, he fucking shit the bed harder than he usually does every night in the White House. He really shit the bed on the pandemic so bad that we lost 6 million jobs. The economy crashed. We had gas prices were negative. On the stock market, gas prices were literally negative. I've never seen that in my life. That's how bad it was, and that's why he signed that deal with Saudi, because the Saudis. Well, how do you think Kushner got $2 billion from the Saudis? He got $2 billion because Trump went in when gas was $1 because of the pandemic. And he said, well, I'll sign this deal where you guys cut back production for 2 years.
What was the $2 billion for? What was it for?
So imagine this. Imagine how much money the Saudis make every day on oil. Imagine.
Yeah.
Trump came in and gave them a deal. We had a contract with them to produce so much oil for us. Mm-hmm. Trump came in and changed that contract. So they had to cut 2 million barrels a day, or whatever it was. But it was a huge amount. He extended that contract deep into Biden's presidency, to April of Biden's presidency. So gas prices, of course, were going to go up once the economy opened up again. So if you figure the Saudis, I wonder what does Saudi make a day on oil? What it go billions? Probably $10 billion a day worldwide. So giving
you can count it in Lamborghinis and gold buildings. Giving
Jared $2 billion is nothing.
But again, what was it? Just a gift? Like what was it technically for?
He's never been in finance before. He started a hedge fund. The Saudi finance minister said, told MBS, don't do this. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Flat out said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And MBS said, no, give him the $2 billion. Now, if someone had signed a contract for you you're going to make $500 billion by cutting oil production, because the price of the oil is going to go back up. I got no problem giving you $2. No problem. No problem at all. So we are now in a place where corruption is out in the open and no one's doing shit about it. And they keep saying that Biden's corrupt. And I'm like, then fucking give it 4 years. You've been saying this shit for 4 years. Fucking slap. Here's the thing. with Ted Cruz and Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz and Boebert. And if they had the evidence, that shit would be, they'd be wearing T-shirts with the evidence on it.
If they could have taken him down 4 years ago or 3 years ago,
would've.
why wouldn't they have done it? He's making all these successes.
I
You're
love
giving him more time to succeed.
It's really funny when anybody brings up Hunter to Ray, because Ray just goes, thank God he's not in office.
My sister said that. Well, how do you feel about what Hunter Biden did? And I go, I just thank God he's not in office, that his dad didn't bring him into the White House, put him in his cabinet, push through a top secret security clearance that he failed. Thank God for that.
We didn't put him in charge of the Middle East.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that worked out.
Right.
Jared really fixed that, didn't he? It worked out brilliantly, didn't it?
It's great. So anyway, if you want to see us,
please come see
this
us.
week. Happy New Year. But the weekend of January 10th, we are going to be in Oklahoma City. We're going to be at Bricktown in Oklahoma on the 11th through the 13th. And then I am going to do my whole show on the 14th, which is Sunday.
Ray is
so
headlining
come see
Sunday.
Titus headline 11, 12, 13, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Come see me again on Sunday. Maybe Dennis will open for me. Who knows?
I'll go. Hello, everybody. Joke number one. No, that's how Dennis.
Coming up right after that, January 19th. It says on your website the Historic Theater, but I believe it's called the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. January 19th. That's a Friday. January 20th. Boston Wilbur Theater.
Guys,
so get tickets to that.
Tickets for the Boston Theater. How's that doing? Is it doing well? Good. I love. And then there's. Do we have a Sunday gig too, or just those two?
Just those two for that weekend.
Okay. I like the Dennis show. He would be very logical.
Yeah,
and it would be like laid out like a spreadsheet.
Then he would actually explain why the joke,
why it was funny.
He would, say the
and
joke.
he would go, "Okay, you like that? Here's the next one."
How would he handle hecklers?
Joke number two.
Okay.
This one's got some heat.
Oh no! And now,
speaking of that, my son is going to do stand up tonight at Flappers.
Oh, no way.
His third show.
That's awesome.
and
He's already
now
on tour.
with the fun fact.
Oh, wait. And now, everybody, it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Yeah.
I have two fun facts.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Good.
It's a special occasion.
We
guys.
don't know if they're fun yet. Sometimes you give us.
We'll be
I
the
make 'em
judge
up.
of that.
Yeah.
Last week you made it up.
Yeah, he said some crazy shit last week.
Yeah, I do have two.
What do you mean? You're surprised?
It's what?
You didn't know?
Oh, yeah, I do have to. On second thought, I do have to.
Okay.
I was because I have a list of them, and we'll cut all this out.
You're getting kind of fumbly.
Yeah.
Yep, you're falling apart.
It is New Year's, people, which means it's Easter, as we said. And did you know that baby rabbits are called kits?
Yes, I did
Kit?
know that.
Isn't that
With a
the
T?
cutest?
It is the cutest, although it's not Easter.
It is Easter because it's New Year's. It's
Okay.
happening.
No, in Walgreens, it's already
Exactly.
Walmart's.
Second fun fact.
Oh, yeah. Kit. Okay.
Did you know that the Highlander is, and now I'm speaking like Trump, third person, is related to Eddie Rabbit,
Really?
another rabbit. Yes.
Well, I love a rainy night. Yeah, wow. Really? You're related to Eddie Rabbit?
Yes, he's a cousin.
That's
Eddie
not
Rabbit.
That's not helpful.
No,
But it's
not
fun.
anymore.
It is fun, though.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun.
Yeah.
She thinks I'm related to Abraham Lincoln.
I do. With his skull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
That's the only evidence we have.
Yeah, that's
skull size.
Is
it the hat? The giant hat?
Rachel wants me to do. So
Yep.
I'm doing this big search on my genealogy because the next show I'm writing for my next tour is called Death Wish, because America seems to have a death wish, and it's all the Tituses through history with historical events and jokes about it. So I've kind of got this idea. I don't know if it's going to work.
Okay.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
but I
you
also
always
didn't
make it
know.
work.
I also didn't know Arm the Children was going to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or I'm Whitey and I apologize.
True
That came just from an idea. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. We have another podcast called Knock 'em Dead. Go to Ray's. Is it Knock 'em Dead on YouTube?
Knock 'em Dead podcast on
Knock 'em
YouTube.
Dead podcast on YouTube. It's great. If you're going through anything with family members, friends, anybody who's you've lost, all the way through caregiving, we kind of deal with death in a way that nobody does. But keep watching and thank you for the year of watching and listening to the Titus Podcast. We like you here, and hopefully we we scream sanity loud enough, so we'll make you sane. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Myself, the lovely bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Thank you for 2023. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
There can be only one.
Peace out.
Later.